Good morning, Cuppa Yoga friends, where we join together to have a cuppa and do some yoga. I hope this morning finds you well. It's very, very windy here. You might even hear the wind swirling around in the background. Not sure how it is with you, but take this moment, take a deep breath and look out the window. Notice the weather, notice the sound of any birds, traffic, maybe people. Probably not though. If you don't have your cup of tea or cup of coffee or cup of anything, stop the video now and go make yourself something and then come on back. As always, if you have to let your doctor or your district nurse know you're doing yoga, you can tell them this is a very gentle practice. We will not be doing anything strenuous. We won't be turning upside down. We're doing simple, mindful movements, making shapes with our bodies and breathing. So here we go. Sit taller than you have sat all day. If you're in a bed or an armchair, lengthen your body and point your toes. Notice your breathing. Notice if it's fast or slow. If you rush to your chair and rush to press play, or if you've had a slower day and you just wandered into your chair and it was an easy reach to press play. Most of what I do in these videos, you don't have to see me. So if you want, you're safe in your chair. If you want, you can close your eyes. If you don't do the movements exactly the way I suggest, you know by now that's okay. As long as you feel safe, as long as you're making something happen in your body, and as long as nothing is painful or kind of that wrenching feeling or it makes you grimace. Anything else is fine. So as you sit tall right here, inhale deeply through the nose. Exhale through a slightly open mouth. And again, inhale deeply. Exhale through an open mouth. It's okay if you make a little noise with that. One more time. I'm going to use the arms to help us deepen our breathing. So this time on the inhale, sweep the arms up overhead and exhale down. If that's too big a movement for your shoulders, what you can do is put your hands on your shoulders and repeat. Inhale the elbows up this time. Exhale down. And still with an aggravated shoulder, that might be too much. Cross your arms over your chest and press your fingers into the opposite shoulders. Inhale, lift the elbows a teeny bit. Exhale down. We're going to do 2 more of these breaths and choose whichever you like. Arms overhead, hands on the shoulders, elbows up, or hands across your body, fingertips pressing into your shoulders. Inhale. One more. Bring your hands down to your thighs. Drop your chin to your chest and roll your head really gently from side to side. Make this movement as slow and small as you can. And then as you continue this movement of your head, press your big toes into the ground. Next time your head is in the middle, slowly bring it up so you're looking straight ahead. If you haven't already, release the work in your feet. A special hello to Kathy. She stopped me in her car yesterday as I was walking down the street to say she does her yoga with me every day. So thanks for that, Kathy. Some work down in the lower body today. Press the big toes in the ground. And then release. Press the other 4 toes in the ground. And notice the change in the legs and the feet. And release. Switch back again. Big toe presses. Notice what's happening. And release. Press the other toes into the ground. Now notice the work that's changed. And release. Press your heels into the ground and lift up your toes. And you saw me maybe do it. You press your heels, lift your toes, and you kind of scooch back a wee bit in your chair. That's okay. Press your heels down, keep your torso tall, and bring a little work into the legs. Make something happen. We don't have the machines, we don't have the weights, we don't have the bands or the bars or the balls. You have your own body and your own intention. Make something happen. Inhale, exhale, flatten your feet. Time for a cuppa, I think. Very nice. Straighten both legs. Now, if you're too far back in your chair, and I'll show you from the side, if you're too far back in the chair, you can't really straighten your legs. So you kind of have to slide forward a bit. Then straighten your legs, heels on the ground, toes up. Right here, notice how secure you feel. If you're right at the edge going, oh gosh, I hope I don't slip off, scoot your hips back a wee bit. Of course, there's going to be a kink in your knees, that's fine. Bring the toes up, press the heels into the ground. If you have very slippy socks on, then you'll need to bend your knees a wee bit more to give yourself some grip. Sit tall. Hook your fingers into each other. So if your eyes are closed, I don't quite know how to describe that, but you curve your fingers and wrap them around each other. However you've connected your hands is fine. And then bring some energy into your hands. Maybe you've found a way to connect your hands that you have to kind of draw your elbows away from each other to bring some work into the arms. Maybe your hands are pushing more into each other, so you press, bring the elbows towards, inwards to build up some work. Now stay right here. You've got energy in your hands. However you've connected your hands, you've got some energy in the legs. Close your eyes and take a breath. Are you working a wee bit too hard? Is there some strain there? So turn down the volume a little bit. Or maybe you're there and you go, no, this isn't much, and you're started making your shopping list, then you're not working hard enough. So bring some more work into the arms, press harder into the heels, lift your heart. One more breath here. Release your arms down and give your legs a wee shake. Right here, start to circle your feet. Now, you can do that just with your feet and not really move your legs. But if your knees follow your toes, there's more movement in the legs and it actually comes up to the hips. Even me with my bad hips and my arthritic hips, I can do this. So maybe you can too. And you can certainly do this in an armchair or a bed as well. And then change direction. Come to stillness. Bring the legs closer together so they're right next to each other. Cross one ankle over the other. Check again that you feel secure on your chair. You're going to flex your feet right here. That just means bend the toes up, and you notice as soon as you do it, things happen in your legs. And then draw your inner thighs together. And when you draw your inner thighs together, kind of makes you, work your buttocks too, and you end up maybe an inch taller right here. Now for this, it's important that you keep the torso tall. If this is making you kind of round and go, oh gosh, then move back in your chair a bit, cross at the ankles and bend your knees more so you can keep this torso up. Even if your knees are bent more, you can still draw the inner thighs together and engage the buttocks. And breathe. Notice the work in your body. One more breath, keep that energy. And then release. And switch the cross of your legs. If you need to hold on to your chair or the table beside you to do it, that's fine. Support yourself in any way you have to, and then cross again. So first, make sure you feel safe right here. Second, lift up the heart, shoulders down. Your hands can be loosely in your lap. Feet are flexed, bring a little work into the legs. Inner thighs draw together, a little more work in the thighs. And maybe exaggerate that that uh, that grabbing in your buttocks, or that work in your buttocks that makes you sit an inch taller. And there you go, you're in the pose. Now breathe. Notice how when you're working down in your lower body and you're breathing, it's a different type of work. Your lower body is doing something fairly strenuous, but your upper body is just breathing. Notice the contrast and how they exist together. Easy up top, a little more work down below. One more breath. And release. Uncross your feet and then point and flex your toes. Step one foot back, step the other foot back. Bring your fingertips to connect right here in front of your heart. And then connect the fingers, and then connect the palms. Bring some energy into the arms. If this angle in the wrist is too acute and aggravates any arthritis or injury, separate your palms and press the fingertips into each other. Close your eyes. Kind of draw your shoulders down a wee bit. You're just encouraging the tension to release in the shoulders. Don't make that worse. And the heart lifts a teeny bit. And breathe right here. Pay some attention to the rib cage and observe as the rib cage expands and contracts. One more breath. Release the hands, release the body. Maybe give yourself a little shake, and I realize I've been neglecting our cuppas, so pick up your tea or your coffee and have a little sip. There's a word or a practice we have in yoga called ahimsa, non-violence. There's been books written about it. And of course, many people interpret it as you don't physically hurt anyone else or hurt animals and so on. But in a practice like ours, what ahimsa represents is not harming ourselves. Taking this time here, this part of our lives, to be kind and compassionate to ourselves. Do no harm. That's why if you feel something painful or aggravating in this practice for now, move away from that. Because work and stretching and strengthening, that's not harm, that's not injury. So these things you can do, but anything that causes discomfort, move away from that for this practice. For this practice, it's non-violence towards yourself. It's being kind to yourself. Speaking of being kind to yourself, take another little sip. All right then, as I get back to my day and you get back to yours, we're going to close our practice today, and we're going to do this from now on. Bring your palms to meet in front of your heart center. Bow your forehead. Giving thanks for the space we shared, the practice we shared, and the community we shared. Namaste means the light in me sees the light in you. So the first namaste, in the spirit of ahimsa, you say to yourself silently. The second namaste, we say out loud to each other. Namaste. Have a great day.